Hello everyone, welcome back to Just Invest Today, and look what we have here today. It's an insane day. Alibaba up 14% for the day. Crazy. The sentiment is kind of shifting. In the last 4 days, it's up 25%. The last month, 39% gain. If you were buying at $70, $80, I'm going to applaud you right now. That would be amazing return in such a short term. I'll probably sell right now, get that profit, because I guarantee you guys, this is just like a short run. This is going to fall right back down to 100 in my opinion, because this is what happens with Alibaba. There's going to be a couple of good news coming out, and then all of a sudden, they're just going to release some bad news. Something's going to go wrong with Alibaba. That's what's been happening with Alibaba for at least 2 years right now. It goes up, it goes back down, it goes up, it goes back down. So I wouldn't doubt it. So look what's been happening. I'm going to talk about everything that's happening in China in this video, because we're seeing a lot of these Chinese stocks just taking off. And it started with this Didi news. Didi actually is up 63% for the past month. So you got to remember, they talked a lot about delisting Didi because they did their own thing and just IPO'd without the Chinese permission, sending a huge crackdown on Didi. So the news came out that Didi was actually allowed to go back to resuming their business, basically get more people downloading their app. So with that, boom, Didi literally takes off 39% in 5 days, and that's exactly what happened. And this boosted all these Chinese stocks because people can't stop thinking about the crackdown. So this kind of gives you a glimmer into maybe the crackdown's over, maybe Beijing's doing the right thing now. We can see the Crane shares up 40% for the past month. Next on the news is that Beijing is reopening. Beijing restaurants reopen today and all schools by next week. This is amazing news because you know Xi Jinping has the zero COVID policy, and that's affecting China so damn much. It's insane. No one was able to go out and buy stuff. People were just stuck at home. They actually had a damn celebration in the street as soon as Shanghai opened up again. That just shows you what's been going on and how Alibaba has just been going through this with no opening, just people staying inside, not spending a lot, not having to do a lot of business. A lot of their delivery platforms are not doing as much business. There's a lot of not doing as much revenue as they possibly could have because there's a huge macro headwind and the government headwind. So this is huge sentiment shift in China right now, and we can kind of see it developing. And let's see what happens. Maybe this doesn't affect Alibaba too much. Maybe it does. Let's see what happens. Dennis Hong comes out, and this was a crazy little chart we have. Flip the script. Overseas funds ramping up purchases of China stocks recently. 20 billion. Remember, it went from selling negatives 40 billion plus March, April, May. Now up to 20 billion of people buying back into Chinese companies. This just goes to show you, man, people are just heading where the money resides. People are all about momentum. That's how we can kind of see Alibaba getting back, because if people keep seeing that Alibaba is going to 120, 130, 140, people are trying to capture that momentum. People are trying to trade that. So you can kind of see that running for maybe quite some time, maybe kind of going back and reverting back, who knows? But that's what's happening, and that's what Wall Street's going to do. They're just going to follow the money. So recently, we've been seeing them piling back into all these Chinese companies, and I can kind of see that going into kind of this year. Just as soon as Beijing talks about they're trying to reestablish their economy again and do the right things, people are just going to go back into spending money into China. So what if it gets to 40 billion, 50, 60? Man, Alibaba in no time can get to $200. I am sure of it. It could happen maybe this year, maybe not. Who knows? But this is all good news for Alibaba, as we're seeing the sentiment shift little by little. Janet Yellen comes out and talks about tariffs and how, remember, Trump did all the tariffs on all these Chinese products, and they had to revert back to how they had it before Trump, because they're saying inflation is out of hand at 8%. Janet Yellen saying, hell no, that is too damn high. So they're trying to revert that back. And what's the best way to do that? Maybe lowering tariffs, so lowering prices, so lowering inflation. It's what they're hoping to get from actually doing this. Who knows if it's gonna work? We know the best way to kind of tame inflation is to raise interest rates, kind of put the economy back into a kind of a recession mode, stop the spending. But who knows if they're gonna go that way? They're gonna find other opportunities or other ways to do business, or trying to calm inflation, and this might be a way. So this might have a huge bullish effect on Chinese companies. Let's see what happens with this. We don't know if this is for sure going to happen, because they are getting a lot of money by doing these tariffs on Chinese products, and they're protecting their homegrown domestic products in the US. Chinese officials vow to carry out plans for growth stimulus. So the finance ministry promises that will accelerate VAT refunds. Central bank officials say they will step up policy plans. And this is all just to help the economy. They're flowing money into the economy, into real estate. They want people to start spending. They're giving them vouchers. They're doing this to kind of get the economy back up, because it was like 2 to 3 months of freaking closure, zero COVID policy. So they need to revamp all of these rules, get the economy going. And what better way to do that by flowing money into the economy, letting banks loan out more money, putting more money into the system, buying companies, buying bonds. They're doing a lot, man. So this is huge news too. We're seeing the finance ministry doing all they can to kind of bring Chinese stocks back up. Man, this is going to have a huge effect on all these companies like Alibaba, like Didi, like Neo, all of these companies, Tencent, JD.com, Baidu. These companies are going to go crazy. As soon as the sentiment shifts to the Chinese favor, and maybe the Ukraine war, or people are not afraid of China getting into Taiwan and just taking it over, that's going to be another 10, 15, 20% run. Like, easily that can happen. And this just happened today. Alibaba jumps 12% as China approves new video games. Beijing is easing its tech crackdown. They approved like 66 games, the most in a year. Approval of 60 games suggested by Beijing is continuing to loosen up its crackdown of the tech sector. So this is going to benefit Tencent like crazy. You know, they kind of stopped all the games because they're saying kids are playing too much games. This killed Tencent. This killed a lot of companies. And this is having a beneficial just sentiment shift on how people are viewing the Chinese economy. Because we know the Chinese economy is just really good. But on the other side, if the government is going to crack down on these companies, then it's not good. Do we really believe that? Imagine 70%, 66% down for tech companies, basically, the Chinese ETF. Do we believe that Baba, JD.com, Baidu are literally 66% worse off than they were like a freaking like last year in 2021? Come on, like, that's so unrealistic. So these companies should revert back to the means when these kind of policies kind of ease up on a lot of these companies, man. So tell me what you think about all this news of China, Alibaba, Neo, Didi. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening in China, and this is all bringing the economy up, man. So guys, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll get back to you in the next video.